Okay guys, here's a quick training on Zillow, and I want to show you how you can utilize Zillow to look for pre-foreclosure leads and also to look for sale by owners. Okay, so first step is go to Zillow.com, as you can see on your screen, and I'm just going to use a default. So I live in Florida. I'll type in Fort Lauderdale, and what I want to show you is the default that is on Zillow where it says listing types. Click on that button and you see how it has for sale, which is in red, and then it has potential listings in blue, for rent is in purple, and recently sold is in yellow. So it could be when you log in for the first time, you might have it checked off like this, where you have pretty much everything available. Okay, so you can zoom in and out as much as you want. So for example, if I'm going to zoom in for a specific target area that I want to focus on, what I have on the screen right now is more than 500 homes. It's a little too much, but what I can do is I can keep zooming in until I get into a specific neighborhood that I would be interested in. All right, but you can see with all the details on there, with everything that's listed for sale and for rent and recently sold, it's just too much. So first thing I want to show you is how to go ahead and look at the potential listings. So all you need to do is uncheck the red, the purple, and the yellow. And what we're going to do is uncheck the make me move as well, because that's really a homeowner who's saying, hey, if you give me X, I'll move, but otherwise forget it. So you're not really too interested in those. What you are interested in is these pre-foreclosure deals. So in this case, you can see there's 4 of them. If I go ahead and look at my map, I can zoom in and out as much as I want to bring additional deals into the fold. Now, when you click on them, you can hover on them and get an idea. For example, you can see it's a 3-2, and it's 1,073 square feet, and you can see Zillow's estimate of what it's worth. Now, if you go ahead and click on that, it'll bring up the actual Zillow listing, and it'll tell you in this case it's a pre-foreclosure auction, and you can often find additional information here, like the bank who has it, the law firm that's handling the foreclosure suit, and in this case this looks like it's going to be listed actually on the county website. All right, so closing out of that one, let's go ahead and pick another one so you can see. In this case, we've got this property over here, and same thing, there's a little bit more details over there. Here, there's a YouTube video link. All right, so what a lot of people don't understand about how this works, all right, it's very simple actually. Mortgages are public record. So what that means is if you don't pay your mortgage on time and you go late, let's say 90 days late, you get what's called a notice of default or list pendants, depending on which state you're in. So when that happens, that becomes public record. And at that point in time, some homeowners realize they're in trouble and need to sell their home. So what they do is they go on Zillow and they list their property. And that's why on some of them, like the one we clicked on before, you see the info, but on others like this one, you do not. Okay? So pick your target market. Let's say, for example, if mine was Sunland Park, then I can go ahead and I can zone in as much as I want. I can zoom in on that specific area that I'm interested in, like this. And there I have a list of potential properties to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in that subdivision I could go look at. And I can see the price points. And now if I were to go out and drive in that neighborhood, I can see what the information is about these. And as you can see, there's a lot of information there, right? So that could be from a listing agent. It could be from a property that went REO. It could be a pre-foreclosure. But either way, if you were to get it in your car and you were to drive over there and just simply go past these 12 or so properties, you might see a lockbox code or a realtor sign or some information that could get you in touch with the owner. That could be a potential deal. All right, so that's one thing that you can utilize. Now, depending on the area that you're in some zip codes, realtors can actually buy the zip code and get these foreclosure leads. So don't make that mistake of when you see a lead and it says this contact the foreclosure agent. Understand that that's not necessarily the listing agent. All right, it's just somebody who's paid Zillow in order to buy that specific zip code. But it is a very, very useful tool. And another very useful tool as well is the for sale by owner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check those and I'm going to uncheck these. All right. So there's for sale by owner, and we've got 42 listings. And now I'm going to go ahead and look in here. Let's just go and uncheck these. Should be fixing it on my map. It doesn't seem to want to. I think it looks like it's still working up there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there we have it, right? So now you can see a list of for sale by owners. Now, I'm not really interested in $5.9 million homes because that's not really my target market for flipping, at least. But I would be interested in the $75,000 one that this guy wants to sell. And that's, where you're able to go out there and see potential deals. And in this case, it looks like a homeowner is sick and tired of owning that property and wants to get out of it. So people say, hey, Lex, how do you find deals? I just showed you a brief tutorial of how you can look for sale by owners. Notice not by agent, but just by owners. And you can also check off the foreclosures tab on here. And you can see properties that have been listed that way, or you can check off the pre-foreclosure and foreclosed and see those. All right, so that's a brief tutorial on how to use Zillow for potential listings, and as you can see, it's highly effective. So if you like this video, guys, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that if you like the video, so that way I know what you guys like. And also make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get a notification every time we add a new email, so a new video, So this is Lex Levinrad. I'm the founder of the Distressed Real Estate Institute. We teach new investors how to buy, wholesale, fix, and flip real estate. And if you'd like more information, visit our website at lexlevinrad.com.